Hello, traders. It is Wednesday, March 25th, and we are after the close, so we could take a nice deep breath and do some market analysis. I want to really spend a lot of time doing some education today because I've had a lot of questions coming up from my members in the chat room. They always seem to be one step behind the trade, and that's really what I want to address. So, first of all, let's take a look at the market. Let's see what it did. We had this long red candle here on Friday. Monday, the bottom fell out, and we actually traded below the 3-year low. But fortunately, Tuesday, we gapped higher. We were able to hold the gains yesterday, and we closed on the high of the day yesterday. Today, we opened above that level, tested the downside, and then ran hard. Let's go into that 5-minute chart. You can see the major moving averages are way out of play right now, but we are finally starting to see a bid. I've been mentioning that in my videos the last few days, that the price action is getting a little bit more compressed in terms of the daily ranges, and that is a sign that the bid is starting to establish itself. I've also mentioned that it's been more difficult to make money on the short side because stocks that are selling off tend to take 3 steps down, 2 steps back. On the flip side, though, it's been much easier to trade stocks on the long side. They've had much more consistent directional movement, sustained directional movement on the upside. So I have been trading from the long side for the last few days. So going into the day, I knew I was only going to be trading from the long side, not interested in the short side. Those stocks are too herky and too jerky. So let's go into the 5-minute chart, and you can see the SPY here. And the day started off with a bang. 2 long green candles closing on their high. Everything looks good after 10 minutes of trading. And then we get this series of long red candles closing on their low. This was very bearish, especially since we took out the opening price with ease. So you can see the 10P indicator right here is showing that we've got a bearish cross saying, do not get long in here. And that's what I told members in the chat room. As the market started to come in, I said this is the perfect time to be running the relative strength 30 search. You can see it over here in the left-hand margin, and looking for stocks that are holding up really, really well. And that's exactly what I started to do early in the day. And that's when I highlighted 3 stocks that I really liked: AVB, ULTA, and Tesla. And we're going to take a look at those in a minute. First, I'm going to tell you how my trading day set up based on the S&P 500. And then we'll go from there and we'll see how I filled in the blanks using stocks during the day. So early on, I'm looking for long positions, I want to see that support established. I get this green bar right in here. I get a cross on the 10P indicator. Actually, I started getting long before it even crossed because I sensed that we were going to be getting a cross, and it looked like we were starting to find support at this level right in here. So the stocks that I had been monitoring were beautiful. I mean, the market was selling off, and these stocks were compressing, treading water, waiting for that market support, and then zoom, they released. So I got long those stocks, took some awesome profits in here. I'll show you those trades. And then we got into a compression right in here. And the market really didn't know what it wanted to do. The fact that it was able to rally off the low was good. As it turns out, this ended up being a bullish divergence. Well, what the heck does that mean? That means that the 10P indicator has crossed to the bearish side. This would normally be a sell signal after a nice spike like this in a crossover. And you can see how it's trending lower, this 10P indicator, with the market moving sideways. As soon as we had this breakout here in this long green candle, that was an indication that we were going to be moving higher, and there's your bullish cross. Now, typically we like these crosses here, way below zero and way deep on a trough, and then we get the cross. That's a much better buy signal. In this particular case, I wasn't quite ready to buy into it. I love this long green candle in here, but then we started to creep higher. We were already within striking distance of the all-time high, not all-time high, the daily high, and we had that nice 10P cross. So I started to buy futures in here very tenuously, took profits along the way. I was afraid that this could be a buying climax and that we could be falling back. So we had another little pause right in here. This is another bullish divergence where you've got the 1OP indicator falling and the market moving higher. That is a sign of strength. So we get one more cross in here. I am passively in this trade, took profits, small profits on the SPY. We're talking, 50 cents, 80 cents on these trades. So I'm not real gung-ho about this move because I feel that it's very, very overextended and I'm not getting a great feeling. I am not the type of trader who likes to buy breakouts to a new high of the day, okay? I'm usually looking for the opposite. I'm looking for reversals. So this is really a comfort level and you can come in here and you could look at it. I'm sure a lot of members were wondering, well, you get this nice little breakout. Why isn't Pete buying in here? Why isn't he buying in here? Why isn't he long in here? Well, I was long in here and I rode it up to here. And I got out. And then we had this nice move higher and I got long in here and I rode it a little bit higher. So I took tiny little pieces out of this. But I was afraid that we could have a reversal at any time. This is not typically where I like to buy. I'm a dip buyer. I'm always looking for reversals. So I drew a chart and I showed this upward sloping trend line right in here. And I said, we're still within this upward sloping channel. So if you drew a line underneath and you drew a line above, you could see a nice tight channel. And I pointed out we're starting to bump against that upper end of the channel. So as we're starting to reach up in here, my thought is I want to be short. Okay, I think this is a bullish climax. I'm going to be favoring the short side. I'm going to be looking for stocks that have gone parabolic and that are ready to pull back. So what I did at that time was I started to set some alerts on stocks so that when they started to pull back, I'm getting pop-up alerts right in the middle of the platform saying, you want to short me, you want to short me, it's time. Okay, so I shorted 3 stocks, did really well on those, and I was able to capitalize on this move right here. I had my targets set, hit most of the targets, took very, very nice profits. Now what happens? Well, we get a nice little rally in here. This actually looks pretty good. I joined that rally, thought we might go and take out the high, that this was a bullish flag that was setting up. Nope. Lost money on that trade. Okay, now for sure. Yeah, okay, this is good. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a double bottom. We're through the top here. Okay, this looks good. Yep, I'm long. Nope. So I gave back the money that I'd actually made trading the SPY. This is the only time that I traded SPY so far in the day. But right in here, I had just given back what I had made during this move on the SPY. A little bit frustrating for me. Finally, we get this long red candle here. We had a breakdown below an upward sloping trend line in here. So this was a nice short. I ended up making money on that trade. Was positive on the SPY for the day. The S&P 500 has been difficult to trade. It's making very, very large moves. And I am finding much better success trading individual stocks. So by comparison, I think I was up about 40 cents trading the SPY today. I was up big time on the stock trades that I did. I was 9-0. Did not have a losing stock trade today. So what I'm going to be addressing right now, and by the way, for those of you who are watching this hoping that I'm going to be showing you a trade or two, I am going to show you a trade or two. I'm going to do it at the very end because I really want to focus on the lesson, and I hope this helps you. If you're a day trader, I hope this lesson helps you become a better day trader because it's something that we always struggle with. You're a day late and a dollar short. As soon as you see the stock, as soon as you get into the stock starts to crumble and here I am. I got a loser on my hands. So I'm going to show you how to avoid that and what you need to be looking at. So the best thing that I can tell you right off the bat is you have to know what the market conditions are. I started this video off by saying I am bullish. I feel that there is market support that is forming. If you read my daily market comments, you know that I feel that the coronavirus is going to run its course in the next 2 weeks. The market is not going to wait for that to happen. It is forward looking. It is anticipatory. I think that has more to do with the bid being established right now than this $2 trillion stimulus package that hopefully will get passed sometime Friday. If not, it'll get passed Monday or Tuesday. Folks, we're in an election year. No one wants to look like the bad guy. The Democrats don't want to. The Republicans don't want to. They're going to get this bill signed. Hopefully, they'll be able to cull all the pork out of it. I don't know if they'll be able to do that or not, but we are going to have that stimulus package. So, I knew going into the day I wanted to trade from the long side and that I really only wanted to trade from the long side. So that set the table for me early. And I knew that on a pullback like this, I was going to be already lining up my long stocks, waiting for that market bounce. I didn't start buying stocks up here or up in here. I started buying them in here, okay, as the market's coming down. Well, gee, Pete, isn't that risky? Couldn't the market fall all the way down here? Yes, it certainly could. And yes, that would pose risk if I were in the wrong stocks. But when I'm in the right stocks, those stocks will hold up well relative to the market. And I know that because I'm already seeing the bid. So let's take a look at some of those stocks and I'll give you the play by play and show you how all this sets up. So AVB was my first long trade of the day. And if we go back to the open right in here, I'm going to take the buy signals off, make it easier, and it'll obscure the chart less. So I'm going to clear the chart so that we can get a nice clean shot of it. And we could keep the 10P indicator up. And for some of you, it might even be easier if I put the SPY up. So here's what I absolutely loved about this stock is you can see how you've got these long green candles closing on their high. Here's the stock compressing right in here while the market has the bottom falling out. So the gray line here is the SPY. You can see that even if I was wrong, let's say I buy it right here, which is what I did, and let's say the SPY continued to tank, what do you think this stock's going to do? It's going to hold up pretty well. I have very limited risk. Maybe I lose 30 cents on it or so, but if I'm right and the 10P indicator is right and the market bottoms out right in here, and the market starts to rally, this stock is going to fly. That's exactly what happened. So as soon as that market puts in a low, boom, boom, boom. Well, I've got my target set out there already. I got a 80-cent profit on this right away. Super easy. Look at a lot of meat on that bone. Could have made a lot more money on that one, Pete. You screwed up. No, that was my potential profit that I was looking for in the trade. Very happy to take it. Move on. So that was one of my trades that I did. Let's take a look at another one. I'll show you the exact same setup, except they weren't quite as strong as this one because you can see where the market is moving lower and this one's grinding higher. Boy, when you see this, you got to be all over it, especially if the stock has not left the train station. Well, what do you mean by that, Pete? I mean, you don't want to buy something that's up like huge. 2, 3, 4 long green bars, as far as its ATR, it's up 2 ATRs. Nah, you don't want to touch anything like that. That's way too overblown. But something like this that's up marginally and compressing still has lots of upside to it. So, yes, the other stocks weren't quite as good as this, but they produced some big returns. So Ulta was another stock that I was sharing with members in the chat room right from the open. Well, what's so special about that? You got these long green candles. So would I buy up here? Oh, no. I'm not going to buy anything like that. But we get this pullback. You could see the only thing keeping a lid on this stock was the market. So the market comes in really hard in here. What's the stock doing? Nothing. Look at it. Hold that bid. Long tails under body here as the market is tanking. This stock wants to go higher. So I had an alert set right on this bar right here. And as soon as that alert triggered, I was in the trade. Stock rallied. Look at it release. There's the bounce in the market right there. Boom, boom, boom. Up huge. What is that? Let's quantify that move. It went from 189 to $196 in 20 minutes. So $6 move. I captured $4 on that trade. Really nice trade for me. Let's take a look at another one. So again, I'm not waiting for the bottom. I'm not waiting for the market to rally off of the low and to show me that it is actually making a bottom. I'm already in right in here. I'm not in here and here. That gets much more difficult. Then I've got to wait for this compression to play out and try and make some money on the rest of the move. I'm in down in here when this thing is coiling, coiling, coiling. So let's put up another stock that I was long, and that is Tesla. Again, all of these stocks I highlighted in the chat room way before I even got in the trade. I'm letting everybody know these are the stocks that I'm watching for. So if you're in the chat room and you see me posting a stock and you think you might want to follow my trade, then you should have it on your screen and you should be watching it tick for tick. That's the advantage of having the S&P 500 behind this screen. Let me do one more thing while we're doing this. Let's actually reverse, and we're going to go back. And by doing this, you'll be able to see exactly what I was looking for at the time that the trade was put on. So this is kind of what the market looked like right here. Now I'll put that chart back up, and let's go back real time. We don't know any of this at the time that I did the trade, okay? This will kind of keep us honest, and this is probably what I should have done with AVB too, because it would have made a little bit more sense. I try not to make this a 1 hour presentation, but if it is, who cares? So we've got this pullback in the stock. We know it wants to go higher. Look, it's able to hold that bid, which is higher than the prior day's close. It's also above the prior day's high. And you can see that's what was lending support right here. So I really, really like that about Tesla. So I start getting a breakout right here. I'm in. I'm in instantly. I've got an alert set right in there. I get the pop up. Boom. I buy it. So now we got the market climbing. As soon as the market starts to climb, the stock takes off. This was an $11 winner for me. I didn't have to wait that long. I think I got out right in here. I was in here, I was out here, had my $11 offer out there. They came and got me. Done. So in the first hour of trading, I did 3 trades. I had an 80-cent winner, I had a $4 winner, and I had an $11 winner. At that point, I don't even need to do anything else the rest of the day. I'm perfectly fine with those gains. So now the market starts to rally. And now, as I mentioned to you, we start getting this compression right in here. And we don't know how it's going to be resolved. We do see that the market or the 10P indicator has been slipping. So that's slightly bullish. We get that breakout right in here. And I'm like, yeah, that looks good right now, but I got to see more than that. Maybe the next bar retraces it and we fall right back down again. Still don't know. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now we're testing the high. Right on the high, as I told everybody in the chat room. Okay, first attempt, breakout. Yes, I will buy it reluctantly. Typically, these breakouts will take 2 or 3 times before it can get through, and you'll see it back off. But if it can get through on the first attempt, that's going to be a pretty bullish sign. So yes, it gets through. I get in. I think I took about $1.30, $1.40 profit on the SPY. I scaled out, and then we had another pause. And then I made money on that next leg. This is what I was telling you about, though. We're starting to get right up on the upper end of that trading channel, and we're riding it hard. So now I'm looking for a reversal at this point in time. So I'm going to show you some of the stocks that I traded on the short side. One of them was CROX. Well, why did you trade CROX? Because that stock had actually gone parabolic, and it had this huge run up. And I'm going to take off the SPY so we can see it a little bit better. It had run up dramatically, and then we had this pullback off of the high. And so I got short that. I had an alert set on it, and I'm trying to think of exactly when that happened. I'm trying to line this up with the market in here. I know that it didn't last very long. So I believe that might have actually been in here is where I shorted it. And what I did was I drew an alert line under one of these bars, and as soon as this double high failed, the stock pulled back. I made 32 cents on Crocs, so it was not a huge winner for me, but I could see that the stock was running up dramatically. And that's why I wanted to take that short position. I had a couple of others that were showing up, and the stock had absolutely skyrocketed. I think this was RCL. This was another one of them. And you could see how the stock took out the high, was running, and then it stalled out. Gosh, I wish I had the timestamp on this because I'm trying to figure out where exactly I shorted it. It almost looks like this is where I would have shorted it by drawing an alert line right there. As soon as that alert line was breached and the market started to roll over, I knew I had a good short. I set my target profit in, and on RCL, I made 50 cents on that trade. So I was already bidding for it. As soon as I got short, I was bidding for it. And you had plenty of resistance here. You've got long tails above body trying to get through that resistance level. There's your market pullback. Shorted it, ended up buying it back. So the final one was SYK. And again, I'm waiting for this reversal. So this is another similar situation. I think I might have had my alert right in here on that low. Once it was breached, I was short. I had my offer to buy, or my bid to buy. There I made $1.30 on that trade. Really nice trade. All I was looking for was a pullback from an overextended move by the market, and I was looking for a stock that had gone parabolic, just like that. You can see the curve in there, and you know that you're going to get some profit taking in there somewhere. So I'm going to show you how we do set an alert, and I'm going to take off the SPY. So let's say that right there is the alert that I want to put on. What I would do is I would come in and I would click alert, and I would double click on that bar right there. But if I did it right now, the line is not going to appear because that line has already been violated. But I'll show you how it works. If I want a horizontal line, I'm going to draw it on the bottom of this candle right here. Double click, click, click. Now I have, you can't see it, but I have an alert line right in here. I could maybe use that one and it'll be a little easier to see. I'll come in here on that bar, just like that. Double click on it, you get a horizontal line. Well, let's say that I don't want a horizontal line. We're going to remove this. Let's say that I want a vertical line. That's easy to do too. I'm going to remove this. And it's being very stubborn on me right now. So anyway, yes, I can draw horizontal lines and I can draw vertical lines as well. So those were three of the shorts that I did. So I shorted Crocs, I shorted RCL, shorted SYK. I was also looking at M for a short. And this stock had also rallied dramatically, and it was starting to climax right in here, and I could see this inverted hammer here. And I thought, oh, this will be a good short. So I shorted it right in here when this long green candle failed and the market was starting to roll over. And I bought it back for a couple of cents gain because it didn't go anywhere. But then I saw this long green candle here that immediately shot higher through to a new high of the day. I did get long. I only made a couple cents on it. Just wasn't doing what I wanted to, so I bailed on that one. So the final trade that I did during the day came very late, and it was on Netflix. I could see that the market was starting to get a little bit overextended. I'm going to fast forward this so that you can get to the end of the day and you can see what's happening. Again, we've got a lower high, double top. We've got a downward sloping trend line. We have long tails above body, which indicates that there's resistance and the stock is not able to move higher. So I was already looking to get short, and I shorted before this move, but I took profits a couple of times because the stock was moving lower before I even saw this. I didn't know that this was going to happen. It could have just as easily shot higher and closed on the high of the day. So I didn't know, but here's what I did like in Netflix. So let's put that chart up. And I did two trades there. I made 21 cents and I made 30 cents. Unfortunately, I did not hang out for the big winner. So right in here, you could see how the stock was coming down. Market's still up right on its high of the day, and it's holding its own pretty well right in here. What's the stock doing? Drip, 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 lower. You can see that relative weakness because the orange line is below zero. So this is a nice short. So I was able to get in and out a couple of times and make money on it. The reason I got out was because I didn't know what the market was going to do. Market first, market first, market first. Everything starts with the market, and you have to be anticipatory. You cannot be chasing. So if I start to see this move right in here and I go, yippee, this looks like a great short. What am I going to short? Let's see, what looks good? No, that's how you lose money. You're going to be chasing your tail all day long. You've got to have these shorts already set up. Now, Option Stalker will help you do that because we've got a relative weakness 30 search right here. So these stocks we're updating right now because we're after hours, but this search will show you stocks with relative weakness over the course of the last 30 minutes. So you don't start looking at the stocks when you get this move up here. This is where you're looking for those shorts. Hey, if this does turn out to be a bearish move, what am I going to short? Well, that's how I found Netflix, and that's why Netflix made such a good trade for me. So if you do get this first crack, that's when you're looking to really get short on this stock. And you can see, man, it fell hard. In fact, it went all the way down to $339 during the course of this move. You can see that long tail right there. So it went from 346 down to 339. That is a really nice $7 move. I wasn't in for it. I had made my money up in here and I didn't know what the market was going to do, so I took profits and I was happy with it. So overall, a very good trading day. You know, you can look at moves and days like this and go, "Oh, come on, Pete. Seriously, how could you miss that? That's just crappy trading if you can't get that right." You don't know what the market's going to do. You're trying to figure that out all day long. And so we did catch this beautiful little move right in here. That was super nice. Compression, don't know how it's going to be resolved. Boom, all of a sudden, you get this big move right out of the gate. Gosh, right in here, we're so close to the high of the day. If I get long here and it reverses back down instantly, I'm going to be in trouble. So, I don't like it in here so much. Okay, grudgingly, now I can join it. I make a little bit of money, but passive. I want to protect my profits from earlier in the day. Ooh, gosh, look at this. Yeah, here it goes. Dang. Yeah, now I'm missing this move. So you catch a little piece of it up here. But the best opportunity for me was this thing's getting overheated. I'm looking for that reversal. I'm looking for those parabolic stocks. I'm going to make some money on the short side. I'm going to set some alerts so that when those stocks start breaking below those long green candles. And so what would I use for a possible short situation like that? If this were a stock and not the SPY, I might choose the open of that long green candle or the low. Click, click. Put it right there. Okay, now it breaks through, you get your pop-up alert. So that's how you do it. As you start going through stocks, you start looking at, okay, what point would I like to have breached before I take a short position? Oh, it might be here. Click, click, horizontal line. Yep, okay, we're short. You get short, set your bid in there, your target, pull back, filled, you're back in cash. In this market right now, as a day trader, you have got to get in a position, you have got to set targets, you want to be filled on your target, at least put it for half the position. That way, you know you've got some profits locked in. If you happen to catch a big move, you still got half the position that you can ride. I've pretty much just been putting the whole position in at a target. It gets me back to cash, gets me back to cash, gets me back to cash. Every single time that I get back to cash, I'm able to reevaluate and repeat the whole process. And there might only be two really decent windows of opportunity through the course of the day in terms of market setup. And that's what I always look for. Market first, market first, market first. And I'm trying to identify opportunities that will set up for me. As this was forming right in here, I was thinking, okay, we've got a buying climax, we have a pullback, nice little rally, starts to fail. Got an inverted bearish hammer right here. Aha! Now we are going to break down through the support level right in here. And as we do that, I'm going to be looking to short because we have a uptrend line violation on a 5-minute basis. And I've got a little bit of a curl or a crossover right here on the 10p indicator. Yes, this is setting up to be a nice short. So let's get ready to short. Ah, geez, what's this? Oh, God. Long green candle closing on its high. I guess not. I guess that's not going to be a good short. Hey, actually, we're through this downward sloping trend line. Maybe this is a good buy. Yeah, this could be a good buy. Double bottom here. Take out the high. Really, really strong price action in here. Okay, let's get long. Ah, geez. So that's just how it goes. If you're a day trader, you know how difficult it is to find these opportunities. You don't always know what the market's going to be doing, and it's very news driven too. Stimulus on, stimulus off, coronavirus here, coronavirus there. You know, MFA was a financial company that failed yesterday. There's all sorts of news circulating throughout the course of the day. So I'm going to conclude this by saying we do have a nice bid to the market. Okay, look at this nice rally in here. Really, really strong buying action. This is going to tell buyers that it's okay. You can bid for stocks again. The bottom is not going to fall out, at least not for right now. We have temporary support. And if I go into the VXX, you can see how option implied volatilities are starting to come in pretty dramatically. VXX actually held its own today because we had that late day sell off. It rallied a little bit. But if you go into a 30-minute chart, you're going to see VXX has dropped dramatically. So option implied volatilities are coming in, which, by the way, I posted my weekly swing trading video on Tuesday night. I did it a day early because I did not want to miss this opportunity. Typically, I would be doing my weekly video right now. I felt that we had one last chance to get some really good naked puts off. So we had that drop early in the day, and that was perfect for us. We got 4 of our 5 naked put rights off. I think those are going to be fantastic trades. You're going to see that in my weekly swing trading video when I publish it on Saturday to the public on YouTube. Really, really good trades. So now we're in great position. Those are going to expire April 17th, I believe. And I believe that the market is going to have an upward bias to it. We'll go into that daily chart one more time. So the picks I'm going to show you are going to have an upward bias to them. We've closed above the open of this long red bar yesterday and again today. That was very important. So we're through that resistance level right now. And I believe that we're going to be going back up to this probably 255 level very, very shortly. I think that in the next probably week to 2 weeks, we're going to be really trying to get up to maybe the 275 level, perhaps even higher, as some of the fear starts coming out of the market about the coronavirus and its spread. The closer we get to that 2 week time horizon from now for the US, the stronger the bid is going to get because that's when we can expect the number of new cases to start falling. The market is forward looking. It is already pricing that news in. I really don't think that this stimulus package is going to mean a whole lot to the market. I don't think that's why the bid is there. Certainly, we're trading off of that news, but the expectation is that politicians are going to make this happen. In that vein, that's not what's driving the market. That's not what's driving the rally. It's the fact that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and we should start seeing it in the next week or two. Well, asset managers are not going to wait a week or two. They're going to start now, especially when they start seeing the bid get established like this. They're going to start lifting some of their hedges. As they do that, it has an upward bias to the market. Short sellers are going to start taking profits on their positions. Buyers are going to start coming in and reallocating assets. So that's how I feel. Let's see if we can find a couple of good stocks right now. And I'm going to show you a very simple search that I used. And if you take a look here, the market sold off hard. Let's go back into that 5-minute chart. Market sold off really hard in the last 20 minutes. Down, down, down. So I would like to find a stock that actually was strong relative to the market during the last 15 minutes and during the last 5 minutes. and that has good option liquidity, and that closed above the prior day's high. Gee, every stock should have been able to do that in a strong market like this. So as I go through the list, very easy search, only a couple of criteria marked. So relative strength, 5-minute basis, 15-minute basis, decent option liquidity, stock above prior day high. Here's your list. Okay. Doesn't take me long to knock through this list. BABA, I will tell you, I like for one reason, and that is that China is through all of this nonsense. I shouldn't call it nonsense, but they're through the coronavirus to a large degree. Their economy is already starting to get back on its feet. Alibaba, for the last 2 weeks, has already had all of its food service and delivery, the food packaging and the delivery in place. So they're going to start cranking. Plus, China's supplying a lot of other countries with medical equipment and everything. Alibaba is right in the middle of it. This is a nasty little sell off late in the day, but I'm talking about liking Alibaba to sell out of the money bullish put spreads, and we're going to put up that SMA for the 200-day and the 100-day, and you can see it just poking above that 200-day. Now, I like that as a support level right now, but I like selling bullish put spreads even better below this 174 level right here. And if you can get down to the 170 level, we've got two long tails under body right here that tells me there's plenty of support right there. I like Alibaba. I think you're going to start seeing it rally up, especially since China is kind of leading the way right now in terms of the recovery. So there's one. Let's go in here. Continue to go down. You'll see MTCH. I like the price action on that one. And Tesla, I already showed you. I kind of like Tesla in here too. So those are two other stocks that came up on the search. Let's take a look at MTCH. Very, very steep selling in here. I don't know, maybe the coronavirus is good for matchmaking, I guess, but we're supposed to be practicing social distancing, so I'm not quite sure how this works. But anyway, the stock price action looks pretty good. Two long green candles closing on their high, and you can see very, very steady price action, no let up into the close. You can see that orange above zero the entire day. Put up that SPY overlay, market down hard, stock grinding higher. Oh yeah, closes above the high of the day that was established early. Really nice, steady price action. So MTCH, I think you got to be a little bit careful with, only because of these two long green bars here. Can it sustain much more of a move than that? I don't know. It's still got room to the major moving averages. I would keep an eye on it though. And the way that I would play it is if MTCH pulls back tomorrow on the open, let's say the open is lower and it finds immediate strength and it's strong relative to the market, yes, I would probably buy it on the notion that those guys who are in here supporting it today are going to be back in it tomorrow. So I like that. Also like Tesla. I showed you that as a day trade earlier in the day, and Tesla rallied up and it was pretty much able to hold that range. It sold off a little bit on the close, but not dramatically. We'll go into that daily chart and see what Tesla's showing us there. Tesla has a ton of factories in China. All of their future growth, no, I shouldn't say that, much of their future growth is predicated on selling cars in China. So they have a partnership with the Chinese government. They've been buying some of Tesla's debt to help finance their factories. So there's a very good relationship there. China's economy is back on its feet. Their workers are back. I think Tesla's good. You can see how it's above the 100-day moving average. Take off that SPY overlay to make it a little bit easier. You can see it's strong relative to the market. I like Tesla. I love it above that 100-day moving average right there. You can see the buying power in here as the stock went parabolic earlier. Well, now that stock is able to hold those gains, hold that 100-day moving average, no selling near the close. I think Tesla's one that continues to move higher. I like it. I think it's one you should watch tomorrow. It may be one that you can swing from the long side. I was not able to do a video during the course of the day. Too busy trading. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And make sure that you sign up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Turn on your notifications. You'll never miss one of these videos. And I promise you, I'll always try and have at least one good trade in it, sometimes 2 or 3 good trades in it. This week, I've shown you a lot of videos where these stocks have absolutely taken off. So I hope to have you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please come in and take the 2-week free trial. I'd love to have you on board. Then you can see me do these trades real time. Thank you. Have a good night. See you in the morning. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.